Okay, testing, sound. Okay, and yes. Alrighty. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Very happy to be here as usual and happy to start on time for once. It typically takes me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. For some reason, I'm always delayed to doing these things. So, no, welcome. How are you doing, man? Arastu, welcome to you as well. How is everyone doing? Are you ready for this? I am definitely not ready for this as usual. So, too bad. And I'm gonna need some of this today. It's gonna be intense today. So, what are we doing? Well, sorry, first of all, boilerplate. Hi! If you're new to the channel, my name is Jose Luis. I run this thing called Parametric Camp. We record tutorials on computational design live here in the company of beautiful people like Nono, Arastu, and Adnan, who just joined the chat today. And then we edit them and we publish them as a bit more of a, they're not very polished really, but more like edited with all the with taking away from it, kind of, sort of. Anyway, if you want to know more of what we do, social media is there. We have a Discord server that you can join. We have a Google Calendar that you can subscribe to know when we're going live at etc, etc, etc. All right. Now, what are we doing today? Well, first of all, I need to do like Daniel Schiffman. I need to get sound effects. I need to press a button and ta-da and get a ta-da and that kind of stuff. I need to work on that because today we did a ta-da because we just got, this week we went over 7,000 subscribers, which is kind of amazing. I cannot believe that we're there, basically. And I cannot believe there's 7,000 people in the world who thought what I do is interesting. So thanks. I want to send 7,020 thanks yous all around the world to anyone who watches this, and to make sure that you know that you make this thing, this work that we do here, you make it special by just showing up and watching the videos and being part of the community. I'm very appreciative of that, because otherwise doing this for myself or alone would be kind of boring and useless. So I'm very happy that this has some kind of meaning and some kind of impact out there in the real world. Anyway, that was hot. That's very hot. So what are we doing today? So as you know, excuse me, as you know, we were in the middle or in the final steps of recording this playlist, Advanced Development in Grasshopper. But today we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break because I've done a couple things that I think are really cool, and I just really want to share them with the world. So, and they relate to one of my hobbies, which is Minecraft. I play when I have time, which is not very often, or when I'm with my family, my nieces, my nephew, my brothers. Like, we play Minecraft together and it's a lot of fun. And I did finish like a lot of work and stuff that I had in my real life 2 weeks ago. So I had a little bit of downtime to enjoy life and myself. So I played a little bit of Minecraft, and then I was like, can I enjoy doing this also by just writing some hacks or figuring out some code related fun associated to Minecraft? So I made a couple of things that I want to share today with the world. One of them is that I wrote this thing that is able to look at your world files, your region files, and it's able to extract information from your world and then plot it in 3D in Rhino and Grasshopper. So I made a sort of chunk and region visualizer for Grasshopper. That I'm going to make a video of that today. And the video is going to be fairly short because I'm not going to get into how I did it, because it's not complicated, but it involves, like, it's not beginner level, and it involves like breaking down a bunch of things. So I'm actually thinking of perhaps doing a series, like a small playlist on how to deserialize Minecraft regions, which I think is actually quite interesting and maybe it's useful for someone. But today, for that video, I'm only going to show what I did. And the other app that I did that I'm very, very proud of, I feel very hackery, is that I made an app that keeps Minecraft alive by sending keystrokes and sending mouse clicks because if you want to just leave Minecraft running and go away and do your thing and come back an hour or two later, Minecraft typically kicks you out if it detects that you're not doing anything. So, and this is very important if you do things such as farming and you want to do AFK away from the keyboard. So I wrote this thing that basically talks to the Minecraft game and starts sending keystrokes and mouse clicks and make it feel as if there was a human behind it, just sending stuff and keep it alive, you know? So that one, I'm actually going to make a tutorial about how I wrote that because it's actually fairly simple and I think it could be useful for anyone who just wants to write an app that keeps another app alive by artificially sending keystrokes and mouse clicks. I think that could be useful in several scenarios. So I'm going to make a video out of that. And that's going to be today. And then next week we will go back to Grasshopper and development and say, I just want to have a little bit of fun. Is that okay with everyone? Who is a Minecraft fan? Can you just say in the chat, can you just give a thumbs up or like the emoji of a pickaxe or a diamond or something? If you enjoy Minecraft as well, let me know in the chat, please. Oh, that burned. That burned. Okay. All right, so how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Any comments, suggestions? The first video that I would like to do is going to be the one where I show the Minecraft thingy, the voxel visualizer. And for that, let me show you. Let me recap of what do I have. I made this app. It's called Minecraft Anvil Parser, which is kind of dirty at this point. It has a lot of stuff. And I should probably clean up because it's just not. How did I make? I see. So how do I want to make this video? I probably want to make this video where I want to start. It's going to be a super short video. It's going to be like a few minutes, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. What I probably want to do is I probably want to start with Rhino and showing the 3D chunk that I have somewhere here. Where is it? Where do I have this? Let me find this. Any Minecraft fans here in the chat? Don't be shy. It's okay. X midnight. Well, thank you. I don't. I'm not sure that I'm. I feel I have godly powers, but I appreciate the energy behind the comment. Thank you. All right, so maybe I can start like this, and then do I still have a clipping plane? Where is it? Yes, the clipping plane is here. Yeah, It's very slow. Okay. So, and then we can cut it out like this. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, but let's just not do it right now. Let's just hide this for the time being. So I probably want to start the video by saying, hey, hello, I made this thing. You see, it's a chunk visualizer, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you how I did it. And then I just want to walk around. I just want to walk around, not walk around. I probably want to show like a few websites of where I read information about this, about the Anvil file format. I want to show the folder where the files are, and I want to show some code that, and I want to do two things. I want to show code that takes a chunk and spits out the full chunk. And then I want to show the Grasshopper thing where we take in the chunks and we deserialize them and we show them on the thing. That's one thing. And then I also want to show how to filter the blocks so that you can just grab whichever block you want, like diamonds, for example. And maybe visualize that too. So, okay, so let's do that. Okay, all right, let's do that. X Midnight, you're welcome to ask a question. I hope I can be honest when responding. Just go for it. All right. Okay, so let's record. Hello, this is Jose Luis here at Parametric Camp, and welcome to this demo video where I just kind of want to show you something that I made for fun the other day and that I'm actually really happy and really nerdy proud of. And I wanted to share it with the world. This is not going to be a tutorial video because there's many things that went into doing what I just did. So maybe I may record tutorial videos in the future, but I just want to show you that I am a big Minecraft fan. I play a lot of Minecraft and I had some free time last weekend. So I was like, I had always wanted to get my hands dirty into figuring out the file format that Minecraft uses to store the regions and the worlds. And I wrote this thing that deserializes Minecraft regions and then gives you a CSV file basically of all the voxels in a particular region in a chunk. And then I wrote this other thing that then takes those CSV files and visualizes them as a voxel field in a 3D modeling environment that I use a lot, which is Rhino and Grasshopper. So what you can see here is a 3D model that I have of 3 chunks of the Minecraft world that I've been playing in lately. And you can see that there's a cave here, there's a couple of water caves, there's some, what is it called, redstone here. I believe this is lapis, and this is like a chunk that is close to the border with a big river. So you can see the river, some sand, some water in the cave, etc. And actually, because of the 3D modeling environment that I'm using, you can also create a section. You can create a clipping plane that travels through the chunk and then gives you a visualization of what is actually inside the chunk. And if you animate this, you can make a video such as this one where you can like slice through back and forth the whole chunk and make a visualization out of this, which I think is very, very cool. So what I want to show you is kind of the basic steps that I followed to do this. I'm not going to get into the house. That would take some time, but I just want to do this for fun. So let me show you how I started and then how I did this. Alrighty. So let's do this. I'm going to undo this and unhide this. Thank you, X Midnight. I will probably make more C# videos. We're actually recording right now in the middle. We're taking a break with this live stream, but we're in the middle of recording an advanced development in Grasshopper playlist, which is fully C# based. So if you want to learn more about C# and how to do C# scripting in other platforms, that video will be really, really good for you. Okay, so what am I doing now? So I'm going to show a few of the references that I used for the parser project. And for example, I did this, and this. The Anvil file format. Was this useful? Region file format. I think this was useful. And the NBT was probably also useful. Okay. I'm going to do that, and then can I close this? I cannot close this, obviously. Oh my god. Okay. Then I made the region files, chunk format, and NBT. That was very useful, actually. And then I used this, a library for FNBT. And I was also inspired by this one was cool. And chunk format. And what does DeckGL Minecraft chunk visualizer? Okay, Minecraft chunk viewer. Alrighty. And how can I cut through this? Okay, there you go. This is kind of crazy that it's so fast. It's so good, this stuff. Okay, there you go. And then I also want to feature Unmind, the software, the Minecraft mapper. Okay, I want to feature this. I want to use, yeah, okay. All right. For loops. Okay, well, it just takes practice. It took me a while to get familiar and used to it, you know. All right. Okay, so where am I? Am I here? Yes. So first of all, what I would like to say is that I'm a huge fan of Minecraft, and I'm also very nerdy, and I like coding. So I've always kind of wanted to find a way to like make those two worlds collide. And I've always been a fan of projects such as, for example, those projects that are apps or a mod that somehow take a look at the world that you're playing at a particular moment. And for example, I'm a huge fan of this project called Unmind, which is a Windows application that allows you to load your Minecraft worlds. I actually have it somewhere here. I actually have it right here. Okay, so yes, so I'm going to load this world right now, and you can see it just renders the world at a super high definition per pixel. This project is amazing and it's so fast. And then I can just cut a section through some part of the world. You know, I'm going to start cutting down, and then you can see that you can start seeing the caves, and you can start seeing the mine shaft. This project is amazing, and you can render out a high quality PNG. I'm just amazed by this project. So I was very inspired by this project, and I was also very inspired by this other one. It's a web application. It's running on DeckGL, which is kind of 3JS, but it's more geared towards visualization. And it's basically a chunk viewer as well. So you can drag your Minecraft files, and then you will see it in 3D. You can choose which blocks do you want to see, right? I want to see these chunks here. And then it's amazingly fast especially on a browser, which is kind of amazing. You can see here, and then you can also make like horizontal cuts, and I think you can also make vertical cuts. I'm not sure how that works, but you can see the caves, and you can like try. You see, we found diamonds here, you know. So this is pretty cool. The only problem is that I believe this project has not been updated in 2 or 3 years. So when I actually tried my 1.18 worlds on this project, it didn't work. I couldn't load my worlds. So I actually started by thinking, well, can I just try to fix this project and make a fork that works with an updated version? But then I had actually no experience whatsoever with the file format itself. So I thought that perhaps starting from scratch and like taking a look at the file format would be a better approach. And that's kind of what I did. So I spent some time reading through what's called the Minecraft region format. Because if you're familiar with Minecraft, you know that you can go to your Minecraft folder, whatever that is. You can go to saves, and in saves you have the worlds that you're playing with. So these are actually dumps from my Minecraft realms. They're not they're not actual worlds that I play in. But if you go in, and if you go to region, what you can see is that you have a bunch of files that are called MCA files, and they have this kind of cryptic naming R and a few numbers. So each one of these files is called a region file, and these files contain basically the information of each tiny voxel or each tiny Minecraft block, but the information is contained in very specific file format for the purpose of optimizing how to save this information in as little room and as little bytes as possible. Because it turns out that voxel spaces, so basically regions that have voxel information in 3D, are actually pretty heavy computationally and information wise. So finding optimal ways of storing that is kind of a challenge. And actually Minecraft has a really good approach to that. So I'm not going to get into the details, but it turns out that the file format has a specific header that specifies where the chunks are stored, and it has a particular way of flagging how much they weight in the file system and the type of compression that they use. Again, I'm not going to get into the details of this. Maybe I'll make some video in the future. And then at some point in 1.7 version, they changed the file format. I'm probably not 1.7. At some point, they changed the file format, and they turned into this thing called the Anvil file format that has a few changes to it. And all of this is also based on this particular data structure that they use for storing information that is called the NBT file format, the named binary tag, which is a tree structure. So it's basically like a JSON file, but it's much more optimized because it's typed. It's not like key value pairs of strings and some other. It's a bit more optimized. So after some reading from the Minecraft fandom website, but also this other website that I found that was extremely useful because it had a bit more technical information about things, and specifically the chunk format was very well explained on this website. This was extremely helpful. So is reading this, and also using some open source libraries, such as, for example, FNBT, this library, this C# library for deserializing the NBT format, and also using some online editors for reading NBT files, I was actually able to put together a really, really rough prototype to be able to read these region formats files and generate CSV files with the coordinates of each block for the region and what kind of block that block is. So let me actually show you what that looks like. Hey, Mayur, good morning. How are you doing? uh, and Nicholas, hello. How are you doing? Did you figure out the the candlestick situation, the thickness of the lines? Alrighty. So I'm going to probably close all of this. I'm probably going to close this as well, the chunks, and then I'm going to, what am I going to do? So I have this set. I don't want to make changes. So I have this version on my GitHub. Yeah, and it's clean. So I'm just going to make some changes, but I'm not going to version them. So I'm going to clean this. And I'm going to kind of copy paste this somewhere on the side so that I can take a look at it later if I need to. Okay. And then I'm just going to clean this up, this whole thing. Okay. And okay, and I want to extract a chunk first. Game design and game logic session in future live streams. Oh, that I don't know, but I think we have a lot of stuff to cover before we do that. But I actually am a big fan of game development, and I think Unity is also a pretty good computational design environment. So maybe at some point we can mix the two. I don't know. Maybe we do that. So let me run this. And actually, let me do, okay. Region, the chunks. Okay, the blocks. Alrighty. And then I want to, it's, I want to first just do one chunk and show how that chunk can be okay, and I forgot I had some code for that. Give me 1 second while I find this. Where was the code for this? I probably want to, can I, so maybe I can do the chunks and I get region.extract chunks, or that gives me a, okay, and then bar blocks. I remember chunks.0.extract blocks. That sounds about right. And then I can just say utils to CSV, the blocks, and then I want, where do I want this? I want this on my desktop, for example. Where is my desktop? That's a very good question, right? Where is my desktop? My desktop is right here. And I'm going to call this, oops, no, that's not what I want. So I guess it's kind of on users, JLS, desktop, Okay, so I guess it's here then. Desktop, and then I'm going to call this chunk00.csv. And does this work? No, it doesn't. Why doesn't it work? Because I'm missing a semicolon. Seriously, how long have you been coding, Jose, and you're still missing a semicolon? Huh? Crazy. Okay. All right. Deep slate, deep slate. Okay, we got this. Okay, it looks like it's working. Deserialize region up here from file. Export one chunk only. And then what I would like to do is I would like to do the same thing. Export filtered blocks only. And then I do, for example, a variable. I do blocks equals region dot extract blocks diamond ore, and then diamonds found, and I write that, and I push the diamonds, and I chunk them out into region 00 diamonds.csv. And if I do that, this takes a little bit, but it's going to work. Is it going to work? Yes. Okay, so I think we can start then. Okay, let's go back. What I did was I started this console application that I'm calling the Minecraft Anvil parser that looks something like this. So it has a main program, right? This is the entry point for the console application. And what I did was I wrote a bunch of abstractions for the entities that compose a Minecraft region. So I'm not going to get into that, but basically Minecraft is divided, the whole Minecraft world is divided in regions. Each region is divided in chunks. Each chunk is divided in sections, and then each section is made up of blocks. So each block is that one individual voxel that can be diamond, dirt, rock, whatever that is, right? And also a bunch of utility functions that I made for myself to stringify things and to spit things out as a CSV file. So once I did that, which again, I will get into the details perhaps in another video. Once I did that, then creating a simple program that, given the location of a Minecraft region file, like the ones that I had shown before, then what I wrote was something that could deserialize that region from a file into one of these file format, like abstractions. And then I made basically two things. I made one application that can extract all the chunks from that region and then extract all the blocks from one of those chunks. We could extract all the blocks from the full region, but that is something in the realm of 38 million blocks, which for a CSV file is humongous. It would take, it's actually a lot of work. So visualizing it works better just chunk by chunk instead of a whole region. So what I'm doing here is I'm extracting all the chunks, and then for only one of the chunks, I am extracting all the blocks that then I am dumping into a CSV file. So if I run this, you can see that the console application actually did this very fast because a chunk is a fairly lightweight, relatively lightweight. And then I have this chunk file that I'm going to open, for example, with an Excel spreadsheet. And you can see that what I get is the XYZ coordinates of each block in order, and then the ID of what that block is made of. So in this case it's bedrock, but if I start going up, they are ordered from the bottom, from the deep bottom all the way to the top. So you can see that as I go up, things turn into deep slate, and it turns into duff, and now they turn into stone and more different kinds of stone. And then as I keep going up, it will probably turn into water, air, dirt. You see, we have now water, dirt, grass. We're approaching the surface, and then it's like a lot of air. Okay, and after that, it's just basically a lot of air. So this is great because now we have the information of each block in a very simple format that can be read by any program in the world. We just have XYZ coordinates and the block type. So with this, we can just visualize this in any platform that we can think of. So let me show you, for example, how I did that using Rhino and Grasshopper. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to open a new file, no template, and then I'm going to open Grasshopper. I'm going to open Grasshopper, and I'm going to open the chunk visualizer, which is going to be kind of heavy because I think files that were yeah. So okay, so I have 3 chunks here. Okay, let me load 1 chunk only. Oh, this is a lot of stuff. So I guess I just wanna read like 1 file. Yes, I forget what I did at this point. I guess I want to copy as a path, and then here I just want to paste that path without the double quotes, and I just want to plug this in here. Nope. It's being used by another process, yes. So let me close that, and I can read the full chunk. Ooh. Ooh, there's a lot of lapis, not lapis, what is it called? Redstone there. Okay, so read file. Okay. So I am now in Rhino, and I have this Grasshopper file open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the CSV file that I saved to my computer into my Grasshopper file, and then you can see that what I get is an ordered list of strings with all the coordinates and the type separated by commas, right? And then what I can do is I can plug that in to a super simple deserializer. So basically what I have here is a C# script that takes that string and separates the commas and then takes the XYZ coordinates as integers, and then it takes the whole thing, the string, and if it's not air, because we don't want to visualize air, then it just outputs the type, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm filtering all those types by stone, gravel, andesite, whatever, and I'm giving each one of those a different color. So green for grass, brown for dirt, transparent blue for water, all that stuff. So as soon as I plug this in here, right, then you can see how it's taken quite some time, right? You can see how it took like something like 10 seconds because we have a lot of stuff, a lot of voxels, and each one of these voxels is being rendered as a cubic mesh. And as for right now, I'm not doing any optimizations of merging coplanar faces and removing them. So the geometry is actually fairly heavy. Those optimizations will probably come at some point, but I haven't implemented those yet. But you can see how now we have a full chunk from the surface all the way to the deep slate and bedrock. And you can see how cool, as we zoom in, you can see how we can see the caves all the way in depth. And this is iron, I believe. This is redstone. This is all deep slate. And oh, is that diamonds? Are those diamonds? Those are probably diamonds down there. Very deep all the way, right? And so we could just like take this now and bake it and do like a video like I showed before, right? We could also export multiple chunks and we could show them together. So I actually have a few files here of how to show different chunks together, like I showed before. It's just that it's kind of heavy, again, because I'm still not doing optimization, and probably the heaviest part at this point is the visualization. That's why I'm actually so amazed by this project that is so fast, living on a browser and including textures. It's just really, really responsive. It's kind of crazy. I really want to dig into this project sometime very soon. But one of the nice things that we can do with this is that because we basically have a full list of the coordinates of all the blocks and what they are, if we are looking for a specific kind of block, like for example diamonds or like iron ore or lapis or emeralds or whatever that is, we can go through all the blocks and we can just filter out the ones that are not what we're looking for, which is a very simple search operation. Let me show you how I implemented that. If we go back to the main code, I can cancel this part, the part where I extract the whole chunk, and I can show you how I have this one function that takes a collection of blocks and filters them by a particular ID. So if, for example, I only want to retrieve the blocks that are diamonds, I can just filter by diamond ore, and then I can dump those coordinates, the coordinates of those blocks, as a CSV file somewhere in my system. So for example, if I run this, now the application is parsing all the blocks, and because I'm doing it for the full region, remember this is a region is, I believe it's 32 by 32 chunks, and each chunk is like something like 40,000 blocks. So it's basically 38 million blocks potentially. And only from those, only 400 were found. So now I can go back to my system, whatever that is, and you can see that I have this diamonds list that has all the coordinates of just the diamonds. And if I were to now visualize that and say, well, what I want now is just the file r.diamonds. Okay, that's what I want to visualize. So if I plug that in here, you can see that I had a typo, so that .csv, and I still do have a typo. So what is the name of, no, so I have to close this before this can be read. And you can see that now I have, you can see all the diamonds on my full region all around the place. And I can combine the both if I wanted to, because it's just literally lists of blocks. So it takes a while, but you're going to see the one chunk here. You see the one tiny chunk. You see how big regions are? And then you can see the one chunk combined with all the diamonds that are available in the whole thing. However, this is not entirely true. You can see that the diamonds, if we were to see a frontal view, you can see that the diamonds are kind of only concentrated in a thin layer here. That's because with the latest updates, there's two kind of diamonds now. There's diamond ore and there's deep slate diamond ore, which is a different kind. So I can, for example, just say, well, can you give me deep slate diamond, or can you filter for both? And then just can you give me like a file with all of them, not just diamond ores, but both of them combined. And then if we parse that, how many diamonds we get now? 15,000, which is kind of very nice. And if we now change this to all of them, right? What is this going to look like? Let's see. Let's wait a few seconds till it renders. And boom, turns out that there were many more diamonds. It's just that many of them are actually hidden. And it's kind of interesting because if you do on front view, you can see how the density of where diamonds are increases the deeper you go, which is something that they changed very recently in the Minecraft updates with, especially when they introduced all the deep slate levels, you know, they move the frequency from diamonds from level 11, which is where they used to be, all the way down to the bottom. So this is very nice. It's also very helpful if you want to find diamonds. I have no ethical problems with using this to retrieve diamonds easier, especially if you have gone through the pain or the pleasure of writing the code to make this happen. It feels like you earned being able to hack through those diamonds. That's my very honest ethical opinion on this matter. You may subscribe it or not. All right, so I think this is what I wanted to leave this. I just wanted to show you this fun project that I did recently and how nerdy it felt to me. And I hope that at some point I actually get time to make a playlist and show you how I wrote all of this stuff. Would you actually be interested in watching that playlist and following up along? Let me know what you think in the comments on this video. All right. And in the meantime, if you found this to be cool, exciting, fun, or any of the above, maybe you want to consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications to hear more from us, or joining our Discord server and joining the conversation that we have throughout the week offline. All right. Thank you very much, and see you on any other Minecraft related videos or computational design ones. Who knows? Thank you. Bye bye. Alrighty, Andres, are you a Minecraft fan? Good to see you. Okay. What is this? Okay. Alrighty, what is next? Oh, we have an actual tutorial. Where I'm going to show you how to do. Okay, so let me close all of this stuff. Yeah, sure, why not? And then Do I want to save this? Yes, save it. It's fine. Okay. So what is the next thing that we're going to do, folks? We are going to record a tutorial on this other thing that I did, which is I wrote an app to keep Minecraft alive while doing AFK on my realms, on my Minecraft realms. So how are we going to do that? We're going to record the introduction. The introduction is going to be the thing. And okay, that's too bad. There's got to be something, I'm sure. Maybe we can take a look at that at some point, Nicholas. Anyway, so the Minecraft ticker, what is that going to look like? That video is going to look like, I'm going to show the demo. I'm going to then specify what the video is going to be about. So it's going to be why I did this, how I did this, and then what do you need to make this happen. So those three things. And then that's pretty much it, I think. Okay, so I guess it's time to start Minecraft. The region parser, the poker. Okay. All right. So let me launch Minecraft. I'm going to start. How's everyone doing? Okay, so I'm going to go here. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to start the thingy here. Okay, and I'm going to do 4 seconds, 0 seconds, and okay, and that's it. Okay. And then I'm going to hit start. I'm going to start the video. And for the video, I want to say, what am I going to say? I want to say that this is Jose Luis at Paramagic Cam. Welcome to this video where I want to show you an app that I made to keep Minecraft alive while I was doing AFK in my Minecraft realms. To avoid timeouts. Okay. To avoid timeouts in my... this is very useful for farming. And if you play on realms, and in this video I'm going to explain why I did this, how I did this, and if you don't care about this, just because you can scroll to the end, and then just go directly to where things are happening. I guess. All right, so this is probably going to take a few takes, but it's okay. Hello, my name is Jose Luis here at Parametric Camp, and I would like to show you this. Nope, nope. Okay, this is gonna take some time. Okay, so welcome to this video where I would like to show you this app that I made. The background music is so 3D. You can see the. Oh, you're right. The background music. Oh, thanks for pointing that out. I have to pause the video to check if the sound is coming from somewhere in the room. You're right, because I'm piping the desktop audio into. So you're not hearing you're not hearing the background music anymore, right? You're not hearing the Minecraft music anymore, correct? Can you confirm? Good thing you called that out, because I had not noticed. Yes, thank you, because I don't want the I don't want the background music on the video, because otherwise, like, YouTube is gonna like blow me up with like copyright issues and stuff. That's just not. It's bad. It's bad. Very bad. Now, I would like to teach you a technique to do AFK. I would like to teach you a technique to do AFK in Minecraft Realms to keep it alive. That's what I want to say. Okay. Is that what I should say? Hello, I'm your boss, and I'm gonna teach you all some high-level coding stuff. Pay attention. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to be a bit more uh, welcoming. All right, so let's do this. Hello, my name is Jose Luis here at Parametric Camp, and I would like to teach you a technique to keep your Minecraft game alive, especially for doing things such as AFK away from the keyboard when you're farming in a Minecraft realm, for example, so that you can keep your game alive and the realm doesn't kick you out. What I would like to do in this video is show you how I made this application, this console application that I have on my left, that is basically sending keystrokes and is sending mouse clicks to the Minecraft window to keep it alive. And I have this looped, placing a torch, removing a torch, placing a torch, removing a torch, so that I keep the game alive and that the realm doesn't kick me out of it. Why I'm doing this, I'm going to explain very soon, but I have tested it. I tested this last night and I AFK'd for 2 hours and it was actually really cool. This is also a video where if you are into coding, what you will learn is how to create an application that can just ping and can tick any other application with keystrokes and mouse clicks. So what are you going to see in this video? First of all, this is the introduction. Then after that, I would like to tell you the reasons why I made this, which is kind of interesting and important. Then it's going to be a tutorial on how I actually coded this. And if you're into coding, you're welcome to watch that tutorial and learn how to do this using the C# programming language. And last but not least, if you don't care about writing code, the last part of this video is going to be where can you go to just download this app and how can you run it in your system and how can you make it work so that you can mine and you can farm for hours and hours uninterruptedly. All right, so let's talk in and more hands-on. Let me first explain why I did this in the first place. All right. Okay, so we don't need Minecraft. Do we need Minecraft? Oh yeah. Do we need? I'm just going to keep it in I'm just gonna keep it in the background because why not? And guess what? I have a presentation. What? I do have a presentation because I was bored this morning and I thought I wanted to make the story very lean and very fast. So I made a small deck about why we're doing this. So let's do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do one thing, which is going to be this. Where do I have this image? Maybe I want to start with a parametric cam image. Can we do that? If I find the image, which I don't know where it is, the container, the background, the rear layer, front layer. Seriously, what is the background? Where is the image? I guess I'll have to find it manually. Where is this image? OBS scene, screenshots, brand image. I guess it's this one. I think this is the one that, yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, so let's just take a screenshot of these. Let's take a screenshot of this and then we move on. Okay, so I'm just going to make this. Okay, sorry. There you go. And then this is going to be c.parametric camp. And I think you actually don't need the C. Is that correct? Let me double check that. Indeed, you don't need it. Okay, so that's going to be that. And then this is going to be here. Exactly, Nicholas. My nephew just found out. I literally just did this last week, and my nephew found out, and he was blowing up. He was like, "What the hell? Like, uncle is crazy." All right. Hey, Yarudi, good to see you. Okay. Okay, so let's start here. Well, before any of that, if you are new to the channel, I just want to introduce myself and introduce the channel. And no, that was too much. Let's start over again. Well, before any of that, I just want to welcome you to the channel if you're new here and let you know that what we do here is a lot of computational design tutorials. And I am actually particularly interested in teaching people how to write code and use that and do that in a creative way. But I just so also happen to be a very big Minecraft fan. So I play Minecraft a lot with my family, with my nieces, my nephew, my brothers. And I'm actually particularly, I like particularly playing in survival mode because I just want like to gather resources and build things and like the pain of actually having to gather all of those, etc. And at the same time, actually, this screenshot that I took, how awesome it was that the ender just showed up when I took the screenshot. And Also, what I also do is that I play in Minecraft realms a lot because I live very far away from my family and we play together very often. So Minecraft realms is just a very simple solution rather than starting my own server, etc., etc. And because I like coding and I like hacking things, I have spent some time just like writing code to make cool things with Minecraft. So for example, I recently wrote this region deserializers that turns your Minecraft regions into CSV files, and then you can input them in any 3D visualization environment. If you want to learn more about what I did here, there will be a card to this video popping up somewhere in the corner. But long story short, I recently got into farming. And for example, I follow this one of my favorite YouTube channels on Minecraft, Shulkercraft. You should definitely subscribe. They're really cool and they do a lot of farming and a lot of survival mode. And they showcased this one farm recently. There was an iron farm with 3 villagers, 1 zombie, and it's a super, super simple farm introduction. So I made this. This was pretty much my first farm. This is the one that you can see here, and this is an iron golem being burnt out and dropping out some iron ingots. Now, as soon as I made this, I found out about this concept called AFK, or away from the keyboard, which means that when you're farming, one of the things that you have to do is you have to just sit and watch the farm run and run for minutes, if not hours, in order to produce the outputs. And sometimes what people do is that they leave Minecraft running overnight, and then when they wake up the morning after, they just have tons and tons of resources. This is called AFK, which stands for away from the keyboard, and it's a very, very common technique to just gather resources from farms in Minecraft. And so I tried this. The first time I tried, I just built a small hut and I hid there for like some AFK session, and I let it run for an hour while I was doing dinner. So you can see my farm, the iron golem farm all the way here. And to my surprise, as soon as I came back after 1 hour, this is what I saw on my screen, that the connection was lost because I had been doing nothing for too long, which I didn't know. So what happened was that I started doing some research, and it turns out that Minecraft Realms has a timeout for connections that are idle. So when the Minecraft Realms detects that you have not been doing anything for more than 10, 15, I think in my case it was around 20 minutes. I don't know exactly how much it is, but when it detects you have been doing nothing, it automatically kicks you out of the server because it thinks that you left the computer, which is literally what you did, but you did it on purpose. And it turns out that from a Minecraft perspective, embedded in the options of the server, there's no way around this. You can just not increase the timeout time, or you can just not cancel Minecraft Realms doing this for you. I did not have the option to start my own server again because I really wanted to make things easier for my family and my friends, etc., etc. So I was wondering, what options do I have then to do AFK from a Minecraft realm? And of course, I went on Google and I started Googling this thing, and it turns out that you can do mods, you can play with a custom client, you can do certain things. And also, there's this thing that I just found after I did this whole project, which is called an endless circling pool. So it's a pool that basically keeps you moving over and over infinitely so that there is activity going on the server. I think this is a common technique that some people use. So you're welcome to try this. I haven't tried it myself. I literally found this out after the fact. Okay, so I can't tell whether if this works well or not. But what I thought immediately to solve this problem was like, oh, maybe I can just make like some Arduino construction where I physically have like a motor that is like moving my mouse, or I have something that is pressing keys physically on my keyboard, like Homer Simpson did in this episode, you know, that kind of stuff. And definitely, if you are a maker and you like making physical things, that could be a way to go, and you could solve that problem with a physical artifact that physically presses your keys or moves your mouse. However, I was in a rush. I wanted to get it done quickly, and I'm also more of a coder than a maker myself. So I thought, is there any way we can mimic this idea, the idea of like pressing keys or pressing the mouse? Can we do that digitally? And it turns out that Actually, we can, and there are programs, there's software out there that allows you to mimic sending keystrokes and sending mouse clicks to other software. All right. But again, because I'm a maker, a digital maker, if you will, I kind of wanted to do it myself and learn how to write this application from scratch. So I kept doing some Googling and I found several solutions that are C# based, including some libraries and including actually people who had tried to do this specifically for the purpose of Minecraft. So inspired by a bunch of Googling and options that I saw online, I ended up making this application that I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to walk through it and we're going to code it together, right? Which what it basically does is it opens a console application. It allows you to input some data about how do you want to handle this automation. And then it starts sending those keystrokes and those mouse clicks to your Minecraft, all right? So in the tiny hut that I had before, what I did was I made this, I programmed this auto ticker, auto poker, if you will, for Minecraft to basically place a torch and remove a torch over and over again. And the reasons why I did a torch instead of other things such as jumping or moving around, I will explain them as in a second as well. But it turns out that I made this, I tried it out, and this is a time lapse of 2 hours of AFK. And you can see that it was working like a charm. You can see here in the tiny corner, you can see the iron golem burning out and the days and the nights going over and over. So it worked out pretty well for me for 2 hours, which I tried last night, and I gather a ton of iron actually. So I think it works and I think it's a lot of fun, and I would actually like to show you now as a tutorial how to write this from scratch yourself. Okay, so if you're interested in learning that, follow me on the next section. Otherwise, just move to the end if you just want to know how to use this, how to download it and use it yourself. All right, let's get hands-on. Let's write some code. And I need to change batteries. And I need to change batteries. I need to change batteries and I need to go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute. X midnight. Is it vodka? I guess we'll never know. Alrighty. Okay, so let me change the batteries real quick. Did I tell you folks how I bought rechargeable batteries for this thing? And I'm very happy about finally having done that. Okay, I'm gonna go dark for a second. Okay, I'm back. Yes. Alrighty. Yeah, it has improved. Nicholas, you're absolutely right. Okay, and then okay. And yes, and okay. This and this. All right. Now, I'm kind of thinking, should I actually split the two videos? Because I'm assuming there's going to be a certain audience. There's going to be a certain audience who will only want to use it and not care about the making part. And there's going to be another set of audience that is going to care about how I wrote this. And those are going to be two very different audiences. Those are going to be two very different audiences. Those are going to be two very different audiences, probably. And I also don't want to make the video too long, which will be, it will be too long, it will be very long if we end up doing the tutorial part together with how to use it. What should I do? What should we do? Should we split this in two, or should we just do one video? I'm actually leaning now towards splitting it in two. I think we're gonna split it in two. So we're gonna make a video that is just the how we wrote this thing. That's going to be one video, and I'm going to make another video, which is what I did and and then how to use it, just where to download it and how to use it, which I don't have right now. Okay, all right, so change of plans. Two videos it is. One video is going to be, yeah, one video. One video is going to be how to do this, how to write this, and the other video is going to be, yeah, okay. Okay, so I guess let's start first with how to make this. Okay, wow, that's okay. That's a bit of a change of plans. Okay, so no, you don't, Nicholas. If you're full food, I don't think you starve. No, that was not my experience, I think. And also, I don't think you can starve to death. I think you can just like go to like a minimum life level, but I think you never die. Actually, you could just like eat and then recover yourself. Okay, so how is the video going to be structured? The video is going to be structured, but it's going to be, let me show you what I made. And then, okay, and I also want to version this. So I'm going to start, all right, so I'm going to start a, okay, GitHub, parametric cam, tutorial files, parametric cam. Let's start a new project. Let's start a new project, and the project is going to be, where do we start a new project? New project, repository, Minecraft poker. a small console application app to keep Minecraft alive. For Minecraft AFK. It's going to be public, it's going to have a readme, it's going to have a template that is going to be Visual Studio. License is going to be whatever MIT license, I guess. So I'm going to start that, and I'm going to clone this in my system. And I'm going to move this to okay. Sorry, folks. I lost it a little because of the change of plans, but I think it's going to be good on the long run. So I'm going to take this and move it to my desktop somewhere. And this is going to be dev, and then here I'm going to open a terminal, and I'm going to clone this. All right, and git clone this thing here. And now I have Minecraft Poker, which has absolutely nothing in it. So I'm going to write a source folder. And okay. And then once I have that, then I am going to start a Visual Studio project, a console application, create a new project, console application in the net framework, and that's going to be there under code, Minecraft Poker here in source, Minecraft Poker, and .6, that's fine, yes. All right, here. Okay. Jai, how are you doing? I did my undergrad in Spain, in Sevilla. I did a master's there. I then did a master's at Harvard, and then I did my doctorate at Harvard as well, at Harvard University, which is what I teach right now. Okay, and then we have that, and then we have the development one, which is going to be here. Okay, so that's going to be that, and I want to bring up a couple of this resource and this resource here. And I want to have Minecraft running, I guess. Yes. Okay. Connecting to the realm. Minecraft Poker. Okay. And then I have here git status. Oh. Okay. Git status. All right. Okay. So are we here? Okay. Beautiful. Alrighty. Okay, let's get started. So I will record the introduction for this, which I'm going to write down because I always forget. Intro. I want to make my intro. Okay, so that's yes. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to assume for this video that you are familiar with C# development or with writing computer code. If you are not, if you are still a beginner, if you're still getting your head around it, we have a full playlist of learning how to code from scratch using the C# programming language, and you can learn there how to start a Visual Studio project, a console application, and all those things, and how to write code the way we're going to do today here. Okay, so a card to that playlist will be popping up somewhere here, and there will be a link in the description to this video. So let's get started. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to write a small application that sends keystrokes to my Minecraft game. My Minecraft game is right now running here in the background, and don't worry, I'm kind of safe. I'm inside of this hut and there's torches everywhere, so I'm not gonna get killed, so I can have this in the back. And this is my tiny farm, the one that inspired this actual video. You see that the iron golem just got killed. So I'm going to put this on hold, okay? And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write a small code that is going to find the application, the Minecraft application that is running right now on the system, and it's going to send some keystroke to that application. So let's try that. The way we're going to do that is that I'm going to be following some of the code that I saw here, and we're basically going to be importing in the function. We're going to be importing statically a DLL dynamically, which is going to be user32. And you probably can see how this DLL import function is not available. So I'm going to add this. So now that I have interoperability services, now I can use DLL import and make this function available to other functions that are living in my code. All right. And then the next thing that I would like to do is, first of all, I'm going to try to find which processes have the name of my Minecraft. So what that looks like is that I'm going to say process.get, and you can see that process is actually not available, also because we need to import it as a library. So I'm going to right click here, refactoring, and it's right now telling me that diagnostics is the one namespace that contains this functionality. So I'm going to say process.get processes by name, and you might be inclined to say Minecraft, for example, okay? And if we do that, then let's see if this works. So let me print to the console how many elements we found, and let me perhaps write a for loop for each p in processes, then just write that ps, write a string version of that to the console. All right, so I'm going to then pause the console application. So press a key to exit, and I'm going to wait console.read key for that keystroke in order to finish the console application. This is something that we've done in other videos to show. All right, so if I do this and I run the code, what you can see is that, first of all, it shows up on my other window, so let me fix that. All right, and then you can see that I could not find any process called Minecraft, which is kind of weird. So maybe I mistake the name, and because this is Minecraft 1. Let me try that 1.18.2 and then run this application again. So I'm going to run this again, and you can see that I still cannot find it. What is happening is that processes in Windows have different names. The name that shows up on the top is typically the header name. It is not the actual name of the process. So in order to find the actual name of the process, you have to open a task manager. And you can see that I have a lot of stuff going on here. And you could, so it turns out that because I'm running Minecraft in Java, you could say, is this OpenJDK platform binary the name of the process? Let me try that. So OpenJDK platform binary. All right, so that should work, right? But it doesn't. It doesn't because the way where we actually need to look is at here, is at details. In details, you can see a list of the actual processes with the real names that are running on your system. And if I sort by CPU intensity, you can see that the one that is taking the most CPU right now is OBS, because I'm recording this right now. And the second one is Java W. So Java W is actually the name of the process that is running my Minecraft game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this and I'm going to say this has to be Java W. Okay. And I'm going to run this and you can see that one process was found and that I am taking it. All right. Beautiful. So that means that what I can do now is I can write process Minecraft process is going to be equal to ps0 or to ps get first, not first or default. Okay, beautiful. So if that's the case, then then I can probably console write. So this should have been p actually. I can now console write Minecraft process to make sure that things are working well. All right. And we have a system that process Java W. All right. So things are looking good. Okay. So, so I'm going to comment this out. So we have been able to fetch the process. Now, what do we do next? The next thing that I need to do is take that process and bring it into focus. What does that mean? It turns out that the technique of sending keystrokes and sending mouse clicks only works on whichever window you have focused. Because for example, remember, this is just a simple Windows behavior. If I have two windows, one of them is in focus right now, one is not, I bring this to focus, I bring this to focus. If I press keys, the keys show up wherever I am on focus. So that is the exact same principle. Whichever window is on focus right now will be the one that will receive any keystrokes or any mouse clicks. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that this window, the Minecraft window, is on focus before I send any keys. All right. So what I can do is I can say, if Minecraft process is different than no, then let's try to bring this to focus. The way we're going to do that is we're going to write a tiny thing that says, let's bring this Minecraft on focus. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to fetch the window handle of this process. So that's going to be from the Minecraft process. I want to get the main handle for the window. And then I want to, now that I have the handle, now that I have a hook to that process, I want to bring it to the forefront. So I'm going to use the set foreground window, which is this thing that I loaded as part of the user32 DLL. Set foreground window, and I'm going to use H. All right. So what we should see now is that I'm going to run this and my console application is going to pop up and then Minecraft will get on focus. So let's see if that works. Did you see how the Minecraft window all of a sudden got on top of everything else? That means that I am on focus. I didn't have to click anything, right? So, all right, so let's try again. So we have this on the background, it's on the focus. Does it work if I minimize it? It doesn't work. All right, so let me try. So background, boom, and it just goes to the front. Beautiful. Okay, so if that's the case, then I think we are ready to send keystrokes to the window. Nicholas, these are called attributes, and they're basically decorators, additional functionality that you can attach, or or properties that you can use to qualify certain functions, or methods. So what you're basically saying is this variable is special for the reasons that I'm going to specify here inside of the attribute. And what this means is that this function is basically coming from this DLL that I'm loading dynamically. That's how it works. So in order to do that, we're going to use the send keys function, which we don't have available, but it belongs to the namespace of Windows Forms. So if I load Windows Forms, this is not a Windows Forms application, but you can still load some of the functionality of that. Ideally, we would want to do a full Windows form with like inputs, bar, whatever, but I'm kind of lazy for that, so I'm just doing the fast way. So what we can do is we can say, I'm going to send and wait a particular key to the process, okay? And that key, for example, is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be W, because W is walking forward, correct? So in order to actually see that happening, let me walk back a little. So I'm going to be like this, okay? And then I'm going to start this. This goes on focus, and it's not really working. Sorry, that was me. It's not really working because when this key was sent, my screen was in this kind of game menu. So what I would like to do perhaps is let me wait a tiny bit. All right, let me wait for example, 3 seconds so that I can manually turn that off. And let's import the threading library. So now we have system threading. So let me stop the current thread for 3 seconds, and then let's sending keystroke. Wow, that's pretty bad. All right. So look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to game, and then I'm going to let it go and sending a keystroke. You can see that something happened, but it wasn't quite good. So I was actually trying this version. That's the version that was coming from this source that I read, and it wasn't really working well for me. And I ended up getting much better results with this other version. This other version involves using this library called Input Simulator Plus, which has some advantages over just using simple sending keys. I really got lost a little bit on the details because I'm not a Windows app developer per se, so I get a little lost when it comes to like how Windows handles Windows and keystrokes, etc., etc. But it turned out that this actually worked really well for me. So the way we're going to implement this library is that we could just download the project, we could build it, and we could add this to DLL, but it turns out that it's already existing at the NuGet library repository. So what I can do is I can just go, in order to bring this into my project, I can go to right-click on project, manage NuGet packages, and then go to browse, and then just look for the name, which was Input Simulator Plus. So I'm going to browse for Input Simulator Plus, and here the one by Theodoros Chatsigiannakis, and I'm going to download, I'm going to install this in my project, and now I have Windows Input as a project. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to now import this using Windows Input. Okay, beautiful. So now what I can do is I can just I'm going to cancel these two. All right, and the first thing that I'm going to do is, since I right line, since whenever Minecraft goes out of focus, it goes into game menu, and if I press escape, it leaves that game menu. The first thing that I may want to do actually is send a keystroke of the kind escape so that it goes back into full game mode. So let's see if that works. So I'm going to say getting Minecraft out of game menu. All right. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait 1 second. It's kind of okay to do things, to take time to do things, okay, specifically with these automated tasks. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say, first of all, let's create an input simulator here. This is part of the library that we just created. So an input simulator is basically an interface to sending keystrokes back and forth. And then we're going to use this and say ism dot from the keyboard, I want to send a key down or a key press or a key up. There's actually a bunch of different methods. I'm going to explain the difference between them: key down, key press, and key up. For the time being, I'm going to send key press, I believe. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a virtual key code that is going to be the escape virtual key code. All right. If I want to avoid all this stuff here, I can just, well, I can just import this actually, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. So let's see if this works. So I'm going to hit start. And it works. So Minecraft was brought into focus, and then the escape key made the game menu leave. All right, which sounds great. Okay, beautiful. So what are we going to do next? So let's say that in order to keep Minecraft alive, let's say that we wanted to jump every, I don't know, every 5 seconds. Something that we could do, an easy way to do that would be, all right. So, for example, starting jumping routine. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say for int I equals 0, I is equal to, I don't know, I has to be less than 10 times, and I plus plus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. All right. I'm going to wait, for example, 5 seconds. And then I'm going to jump. Jumping is the space bar. All right. So, for example, what I could do is I could just send a key press, and then instead of the escape key, I could just say send the space key. But I believe this is not going to work. Okay, so let me sending jump. Let's see if this works. So let me start this, and you can see, and then jumping routine and sending. Well, 5 seconds is a long time. Well, you just sent a jump, it didn't work, and it's gonna send another jump, it doesn't work. So why doesn't this work? So let's break this down. When we send actions from the keyboard, when we send keystrokes, keystrokes are not simply just pressing or not. Actually, pressing a key has a lot of different states, and that we can use to very, very finely control all the nuances of how a particular key is pressed. So if you actually think about this, physically pressing a key means putting your finger, pressing the key. At some point, the computer detects that the key shifts from not pressed to being pressed. All right. So that event is typically called a key down. All right. And then no matter how fast you do this, the key is being pressed or stays down for a few milliseconds until you start releasing your finger from the key, at which point, at some point, the computer detects that the key goes from being pressed to not being pressed. That is what's called the key up event. All right. So whenever you press a key, it's actually two different events. It's key down plus a key up. And that is what we detect as a full featured pressing a key. That is what key press as a function is trying to emulate. So key press basically sends to Minecraft both things, key down and key up. For escape, it worked because escape can just work right away. However, for jump, I think it doesn't work because I think Minecraft detects that if you press, so this key press the key down and key up that is embedded inside of key press is basically instantaneous. It's kind of a split second, especially because we're doing this digitally, because we're not doing it physically. And because it's such a split second, my intuition is that Minecraft is not reading that, because it basically feels like it's too. So if I just, you see, if I were to press just like real quick, you know, like real quick, you see how it doesn't jump? I believe Minecraft has some kind of way of detecting that the keystroke was too short and then preventing the player from actually moving. So in that case, what we will need to do is we will need to manually mimic the key down and the key up and give it some kind of interval in between. So the way to do that can be, first of all, let me set a key down event. Let me sleep for a tiny split second, let's say, for example, 50 milliseconds, like a tiny bit. And then let's send another event that is going to be key up, all right? So let's send a key up event, all right? So we send both so that we explicitly say we are down 50 milliseconds and we're back up. And then if I do that and I run this, it goes back to focus and still doing 5 seconds, which is kind of a long time. But whoa, it jumped! What? How cool is this? Another one. Whoa, another jump. And a third one. Come on, give us a third one. And a jump. Woohoo! This is very cool. So we are now remotely, in de facto, we are remotely controlling Minecraft from an external application. Can you see how this could get so complex that we could write routines to like move back, move forward, mine automatically, do like, there's a lot of things that we can do with this, right? In this video, we're targeting avoiding AFK disconnections from the realm, but this is the reason why you could just basically write an application to control any other application in whichever way you want, all right? Now, my experience was that when I tried this, I thought that this would be enough to prevent timeouts from the realm, but it turns out that it wasn't. It turns out that jumping, just jumping, even though it was a way of preventing idleness, still led to timeouts. And my intuition is that the reason why that happened is that jumping in place, it's an operation or it's an action that is actually doesn't require exchanging any real information with the server. Since you don't have to update your jump with any other players, and since the map, the physical world doesn't change when you jump, my intuition is that because there's no data exchange, that's why the timeout was still triggered in the Minecraft realms. So what I actually ended up doing was following this exact same technique, but creating some kind of routine that had an impact or that requires some data exchange and some data updates in the server. What that means is that what I did was I wrote something that changed the physical world, and it ended up being this application where I was basically facing a wall, and then I was placing a torch and removing the torch, placing a torch and removing a torch. And that ended up working because my assumption is that it requires, first of all, changing the region file, because you are adding a block here, you're adding a torch, and that is information that needs to go into the region file. And the other one is that when you place a torch, the light map around that area needs to change and needs to get recomputed. And that is something that also requires computation from the server. So this actually ended up working for me. So how are we going to do that? Because this is keystrokes, right? So this is mouse strokes. So we can do mouse strokes as well from our app. Let me show you how to do that. So instead of sending a jump, let's rewrite this whole thing, okay? And let's say I'm going to place a torch, all right? And then what I'm going to do is sim.mouse instead. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to say, it was right click, right? So right click is placing a torch. So I'm going to say right click, right button down. Do I need to do down, or could I just get away with pressing? Let me look at my notes. I think I need to go down. So right button down, then I'm going to thread sleep for 50 seconds and asim mouse right right bottom up. So that's one thing, okay? And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep for another 5 seconds. Okay, I'm actually going to reduce this so that you can see it better. 2 seconds. Place the torch, remove torch, and then I'm going to change this to left button. So left button and left button up. All right. Are you ready for this? Okay, so I'm going to here replace, remove, place, remove, and place and remove. The only thing that you need to take care of is to make sure that the player is right aligned with some kind of solid block that we can place and remove torches from. But I tried this for 2 hours. I actually have a video of this. Do I have a video of this? Where do I have a video of this? Let me show you. Where do I have a video of this? Didn't I make a... oh, where do I have a video of this? Here. So this is a time lapse of 2 hours of AFK using this technique of placing and dropping the torch. 2 hours. All right, and it led me to like a full chest full of iron. In the case of my iron golem farm. Okay, so this is the basics of what I did. Now things can be a little cleaner because first of all I used a for loop to just do this 10 times, and you would probably want to do this infinitely. Also, we may want to give the user the possibility of inputting how many seconds between placing things. We may want to add some random variations so that it's not always the exact same amount in case Minecraft is parsing for bots to do this automatically. I don't know. But we may want to control a few things, and we may also want to do this operation threaded. We may want to thread this in parallel so that we still maintain control of the main console application and we can exit it at any time. So I rewrote this to make it a little cleaner. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, status. Okay, so git add, git commit, basic prototype. Okay, git push. All right, and then now we are here, and we have a source file, Minecraft Poker, everything as well, right? And I now want to bring the full version that I made and overwrite it. Okay. Oops, oopsies. I'm going to overwrite this. I'm going to KD. Because I am, okay. Okay. Virtual key code, quick refactorings. Nope. I want to bring in the full. Okay. Everything is working. All right. So let's see. Let's take a look at the changes. So I'm going to start the new version. And what you can see is that immediately it asks me, well, welcome to the poker, blah, blah, blah. What is the time in ticks in between seconds? So I want to do, for example, 5 seconds. Do you want some random variation? So like a plus or minus a few seconds? Yeah, I want plus or minus 1 random second at any time. And what is the length of that clicking that you want to do? Which I'm going to keep at 50 milliseconds, which is kind of fine. So, so as you can see, well, my Minecraft was was minimized, so that was not working. So let me do this again. 5, 1, and 50. And then the Minecraft goes on focus. It removes the game menu. And then at some point, it starts placing and removing the torches, right? Right? Yes, exactly. Place and remove. And you can see that I'm also there on the console. I'm printing when the application is poking Minecraft with some kind of action. All right. And this is actually the one app that I used last night to make sure that this worked. So how does this work? So how did I do this? Well, the code is basically the same thing. The only thing that I did was that in the main application, I wrote a couple of things to be able to take input from. So basically, I created some default values. Then I wrote some code to take input from the user in case the user wanted to override those defaults. You can press enter and keep going, or you can override those defaults. And then once that was ready, what I did was I started a thread with a particular function that I called ticker. Or actually, I should call this the poker, because that's what the name of the whole thing is. And then that threaded function is a function that contains that code, very similar code to what we just did. We fetch the process, we take the first one, and then we find that we set it to the foreground. We send the escape key so that we turn the game menu off. And then this is basically an infinite while loop that is executing over and over again. And we can do this because it's threaded. So we still have control of the main application, and we can still exit from the main application. Then here we calculate a random number so that we calculate the delta of the difference in time. We calculate how much time we want to sleep based on that randomness. And then we send a right button down and up, and then we send another left button down and up again. Same thing that we just did, is only we're taking some inputs and we're just threading that. All right. So I think, so that's going to be 4, 1, and 50. So I think that's everything I wanted to show you. So this is working, and you can actually go to the GitHub repository. There will be a link to the GitHub repository coming up in a card here on the corner or in the description of this video. And you can just either build this from scratch if you use Visual Studio, or you can just download from the releases an executable that you can just download and use if you're not interested in building this yourself. Okay, this was working for me. It was tested as of today, which is April of 2022, and version 1.18.2 of Minecraft. If you're watching this from the future and this is not working anymore, you're welcome to leave a comment and with an improvement, or you're welcome to submit a pull request on the repo. And what I find interesting is that what you have learned in this tutorial can be used to basically create any application that talks and sends keystrokes, artificial synthetic keystrokes and mouse clicks to any other application. So if you want to use this for any other, to avoid any other idling or any other application, or I don't know, whatever you want to do with this is absolutely up to you. But you can use this to control video games automatically, or to control chatbots, or I don't even know. Okay, to click on a browser and do like, am I a robot? Yes, click here. I am a robot. All right, beautiful. With that, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something. And if you did, maybe consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, saying hi in the comments, saying hi in our Discord server, etc., etc. Thank you very much, and see you on some other video. Bye-bye. All right. Why are you using Visual Studio 2019? 2022 dark, better for the eye. I'm using dark mode anyway, but you're right. I have to update at some point. I've just been lazy. Jai, thanks a lot. Oh yeah, that's one of the limitations, Nicholas. There's no way to do that while having this on the background. No, you have to use a different computer. Yeah. Let me actually say that on the video. Oh, and just one question that came up while recording this video. No, unfortunately, there's no way you can do this and keep this thing working in the background of your computer while you're doing something else, because this process requires that the main window, the main Minecraft window, goes on focus and is the one that you interact with. So I actually can interact with this right now, but if I leave the focus and I go into something else, then the poking is just not happening again, and the clicks are being sent, to whichever main window you are right now. So you see, this was a right click, and now I'm going to see a left click happening here. You see, there's just simply no way to do that in the background, as far as my understanding goes. Okay, I might be wrong on this, but if anyone finds a version of this to do this in the background, please feel free to write that in the comments, and I will pick that up. I guess you could use a virtual machine. Yeah, you're right. Why not? That could be a way to go. Jay, I don't have a Patreon, but you're welcome to join our Discord server and say hi and be part of the community and help other people. That's probably the best way you can contribute to the work that we do here. Thank you. All right, so let's get started. So let me record the introduction of the video. Introduction of the video. Hello, this is Jose Luis here at Parametric Camp, and welcome to a new nerdy hacky video where what I would like to teach you is how to write a console application that sends keystrokes and send mouse clicks to another application, typically for the purpose of automating tasks, or in this case, for the purpose of keeping that application alive. This came up because of me being a Minecraft player and wanting to do away from the keyboard farming and keep my Minecraft game running without the server kicking me out. So I wrote this thing that artificially keeps pinging and keeps poking Minecraft and keeps it alive. The way this works is that I can start this console application that tells me, hey, welcome, I'm going to keep your Minecraft alive. Can you tell me how much time you want in between ticks? 5 seconds, a random variation of 1 second, and 50 milliseconds between clicking. And what the app is doing is going to Minecraft, is bringing it on focus, is removing the game screen, and as you can see, it's going to start every 5 seconds, placing a torch and removing a torch. The reasons why I am chose to place a torch and remove a torch, I explain those in the actual tutorial, but what's beautiful about this application is that it's basically a way of remote controlling automatically one application from within another. I'm using this for the purpose of Minecraft, but what you're going to be learning in this video could be applied to any other application that you want to keep artificially or synthetically alive, all right? Because it's relying on your system, your Windows, sending those keystrokes. So there's basically no way that any bot or any server could detect that you're not doing this with your keys or with your mouse. All right. How did we do this? Let's take a look at the video. And also, if you're actually not interested in how this was done and you just want to download it and use it in your Minecraft, I have another video where I just go over the basics of how this works, where to download it and how to use it. So a description of that should be popping at some point in a card over this video, or there should be a link in the description of this video, right? But if you want to learn how to code this, join me because it's going to be a lot of fun and very nerdy. All right. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to write myself some notes because I'm losing. That video was kind of a lot of back and forth stream. Pcamp notes. Live stream. Where am I? Live stream. So what did I do? What did I do? For the recording of the video of the app, app control, application control. What I did was I first recorded the coding part, then added a clarification. You need to insert that somewhere, and then the intro. So that was it. Okay, and now I need to basically compile this. Okay, so I'm going to create a distribution for this. Bunch of cards. C# playlist, GitHubs, and then video on how to use this if you don't code. Okay, that sounds good. What is going on? Okay. Okay, so the other video is going to be now just talking through this basically. So what I need to do is I need to basically, first of all, I need to add the changes, git status, git commit, improved UI, improved interface, and dumps. So that's going to be it. And then what I'm going to do is in the poker, I'm going to write a distribution folder. I'm going to write a distribution, and then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to build this for release. Okay, and I'm going to build this for release. So in source, Minecraft Poker binary release. Now I have all the files that I need in order to make this work. None of these are actually needed. So wait, I don't need any of this and any of this. So is it true? Well, did I close Minecraft? No! I was having problems yesterday with the server. It just wouldn't connect sometimes, so I don't want to Okay, so realms. You see, it's taking some time. It's kind of not cool. By the way, does anyone want to play Minecraft together? Any Minecraft fans out there? That would be cool. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to then start this, and it works well from my end. It turns it on, and everything is working. It places the torch, removes the torch. That would be super down. I would be super down for that, right? Okay, back to game. All right, so okay, so I think this is zip release. So that's going to be. I'm actually going to make a folder. Minecraft Poker 1.0. I'm going to drop this in here. I'm going to zip it. I'm going to put in distribution folder. I'm going to delete this. and then git status. So I have to git add, git status, and okay, git commit first release 1.0, git push. Oh, can we please do that? Kartik, is Kartik in the call? Can we please do that? Can we do a Minecraft channel there? That would be super sweet. I may do that like at some point this afternoon. Okay, first release. So we got that here. And then I'm going to create a new release. Choose tag is going to be version 1.0. Version 1.0. First released based on the main pcamp video, which is not there yet. And I'm going to drop the distribution here, and I'm going to publish the release. All right. And I will change those names later. I'm going to release this now, latest. Okay. That sounds good. So we have that, we have a distribution, we have the game running, git push, we have everything up to date, so we're good there. The poker is here. Do we need this? So, okay. So then I am going to record the other video. The other video where what I want to do is introduce the idea of how to do AFK on a Minecraft realm and avoid timeouts. And for that video, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the video. I'm going to show the presentation of why I did this. And then I'm going to go into what do you need to do in order to run it. Okay. All right. So how is that going to work? So I'm going to have, where is the poker? Where is the poker? Minecraft poker. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, extract here, and okay. Okay. So that's going to be 5 and 1 and enter the milliseconds. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Oof. It's getting long. It's becoming a long live stream. Okay. What do I want to say? This is a small trick to do AFK on a Minecraft. So I wrote this application that basically sends keystrokes and mouse clicks to, and sends mouse clicks. And so in this video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain why I did this, and I'm going to show you how to use this. But if you're interested in the way this was written and coded, there's another video that I can show you with, if you're a coding person, etc. Okay. All right, and actually here, I'm going to drop, before I forget, I'm going to drop okay. Yeah, this was on mind. Okay. All right, let's do this. Recording about to start. Hello, this is Jose Luis here, and welcome to the Parametric Cam channel, where what I would like to do in this video is I would like to show you a small trick on how to keep your Minecraft game, if you're running it on Realms, how to keep it alive artificially so that you don't get kicked out of the server because of timeouts. This is very useful if you are doing, for example, farming and you want to do AFK away from the keyboard. And you may have noticed how Minecraft Realms kicks you out after 20 minutes if you're not there doing something. So what I did was I wrote this tiny console application that we have on the left, which at regular intervals is sending instructions to Minecraft to do a right click and then place a torch, and then to do a left click and remove that torch. The reasons why I did this, I will explain them in the video. And if in this video, what I would like to do is I would like to first tell you the story of why I did this and why I thought this was important and interesting. And then I would like to show you where do you need to go to download this small application and how do you need to set it up and run it in your system if you also want to do AFK using a Minecraft realm. All right. In this channel, we do a lot of live coding tutorials as well. So if you're interested in actually learning how I wrote this app and you're into computer programming, then you may want to check this other video that the card is going to be popping up somewhere in the corner, and there will be a link in the description. There's this other video where I explain the steps that I took in order to write this and how you could potentially follow the same steps if you wanted to artificially send keystrokes and mouse clicks to any other application to keep it alive for whatever reason, or to automate certain tasks in third-party applications. It's a very simple and very fun technique to do. All right, so let's get ready. Let me tell you why I did this, and then I will move on to how can you download and use this yourself. Okay, alrighty. So now let's record this again. So first of all, if you don't already know us, my name is Jose Luis, and in this channel, a lot of what we do is we record tutorials on computational design, which basically means we're writing computer code to do fun, creative stuff. We have a lot of tutorials if you want to learn how to code and if you want to use it for creative purposes or art purposes. This is probably going to be a fun place for you to learn. Aside from that, I happen to be a big Minecraft fan. I play a lot of Minecraft for fun with my family, my friends, my nephew, my nieces. Like, we're all big fans. And a lot of what my favorite playing of Minecraft is basically survival mode. So I like mining for resources, like the struggle of not having infinite resources and not being able to fly around. I'm really happy of the screenshot that I took, and then this ender just showed up in the latest world that I studied recently. And I also happen to use Minecraft Realms a lot, just because I play with my family and my friends, and we all happen to be in different parts of the world. So instead of having my own server, which it's kind of tedious, I think Minecraft Realms was a very good solution for me. On top of that, because I like coding and I like creative fun projects, I am doing lately a lot of hacking or a lot of figuring out ways to use code to enhance my Minecraft life. And I'm actually a very big fan of third-party tools and applications that take, for example, Minecraft worlds and they give you maps rendered using the chunks and using the regions. I find this stuff insanely cool. And I'm actually, for example, a huge fan of Unmind, one of the latest apps that can give you rendered maps of your world and slices and cuts through those worlds. And actually, just very recently, I wrote this thing to deserialize Minecraft region files and then visualize them in 3D modeling environments. If you want to see how I did this, there's a link to the video popping up in a card and in the description of this video as well. But I recently got into farming, and actually I want to send big kudos and big thumbs up to Shulkercraft, one of my favorite Minecraft YouTube videos, channels. They're doing a great job. They're also super survival people, and they do these insane farms that I love. And from their channel, I learned about this iron farm that is super basic that you can do at the very early stage of the program of the game. And it was one of my first farms in this world. I think this farm was designed by I of X of one of ours or something like that. I forget the name. You can see the link there in the description. So I made this farm. It's an iron farm. It basically pops up iron golems and then it sends them to this lava block and it burns them and it collects the iron drops on a hopper and on a chest underneath. Very simple, very fun to do. You can do it very early in the game. And once I had it ready, I needed to put it to service. So I learned about this technique that is called AFK, or away from the keyboard, which basically means you leave Minecraft running for a lot of time. You go do your own thing, you go have dinner, you go hang out with your friends, you leave the computer running overnight, and then the morning after, because this has been running for hours, you can collect all the gains from your farm right away. This technique is called AFK, all right? And it's a very common one to farm resources in Minecraft worlds. The problem was that and this is called AFK. Now the problem is that the first time I tried this, I created myself a cabin that I could look through and I left the computer running. And then I went for dinner. And then when I came back an hour later, boom, this is the screen that I saw. And I was like, what the hell just happened here? It turns out that a little bit of Googling told me that when you are in a Minecraft realm, it turns out that they have a way of detecting whether if you have been idle, whether if you have just not done anything, moved around, pressed any key, etc. And if you have been idle for more than a certain amount of time, I think in my case was around 20 minutes, then they automatically kick you out of the server. I don't know if they do this to avoid AFK or if it's just some kind of policy to prevent people who just fall asleep or whatever it is. But there's a lot of documentation and there's a lot of people out there who are very actively against this. Because if we're paying for a service, why are you kicking us out, right? So some further Googling led me to what can we do to prevent being kicked out from a Minecraft realm while we're doing AFK. And it turns out that some people have certain solutions. Some of them involve using mods, using hacked clients. And actually, one solution that I found out after I had done all of this is this concept called the endless circling pool, which is basically a pool where you drop and then you start moving around over and over again. And that motion kind of ticks the server, apparently. I haven't tried this myself, and it prevents the server from kicking you out. Okay? But I found this after the fact. And because I didn't know about this, and I also kind of like coding and I like hacking things, etc., I thought, is there any way I can have my computer artificially keep Minecraft alive? And of course, the first thing that I thought right away was, well, can I make a physical contraption, something physical that either presses keys physically on my computer or that pokes the mouse and moves it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right at regular intervals? Is that something that I can do? And the answer was probably yes. And if you're a maker, you can probably go for that, down that route, and it would probably be super fun. But I also thought that I wanted to do it fast, and I wanted to see if there was a digital way of doing the same thing. Basically keeping the program alive by sending synthetic keystrokes or mouse clicks. And it turns out that a little bit of digging led me to the fact that there's actually third-party software that allows you to do that already. But I'm kind of a digital maker, so I wanted to do it myself and also teach other people how to do that. So some digging led me to a bunch of Stack Overflow questions, etc., and ways you can create a simple console application using C# for Windows and use that application to send these keystrokes and mouse clicks at regular intervals to your Minecraft client. And it's actually very straightforward to do. So I went in, I wrote that console application, which looks something like this. It basically lets you input how much time do you want in between clicks, how much random variation you want. I introduced this in case, I don't know, Minecraft is monitoring that you're always doing the exact same thing at regular intervals. So maybe a little bit of variation was helpful, and how long you want that click to be. All right. And then what the program will do would be to just send those clicks to your Minecraft client. The first thing that I tried was sending the space bar so that I would be jumping over and over again at regular intervals. Turns out that that didn't work because I guess jumping doesn't really change the world and doesn't require any updates between you and the server. That's my hypothesis. I don't know if that is true or not, but it turns out that just simply moving around was not avoiding the timeout for me. So what I thought was, well, if I encode some kind of operation that requires the server to update the world, then maybe that data exchange will be enough to avoid being kicked out with the timeout. So what I encoded was this thing that basically right clicks on a solid and places the torch, and then left clicks on the solid and removes that torch. And you're basically clicking and removing, placing and removing, placing and removing the torch over and over again infinitely. And because when you place the torch, you have a new block in the world needs to be updated, and also the lighting map around that area needs to be updated, because those are calculations and it's data exchange with the server. I believe this is why AFK using this technique is actually working for me. So what I did was I tried this out for 2 hours, placing and removing the torch. You can see my tiny farm of iron golems here at through the window, right? And it worked like a charm. And after a couple hours, boom, I got a chest full of iron ingots that I'm now turning into hoppers, and I'm making a moth farm right now. It's kind of cool. It's very, very cool. I'm very happy and very nerdily satisfied with my creation. So as of today, which is April 2022, for Minecraft version 1.18.2, this is working. I don't know if you're watching this in the future, maybe this is not working anymore, I don't know. But for right now, it's working. So if you want to use it, you're more than welcome to. And let me then teach you where can you find this application and run it yourself if you want to also use this AFK trick. The way to use this app is to go to our GitHub repository. The link is github.parametriccam/minecraftpoker. There will be a link to this GitHub repo on a card popping up somewhere and in the description of this video as well. And right now, don't mind, there will be a README here with the instructions of how to use this, etc., etc. But for the time being, you can just go here, and if you don't know how to code, if you're not familiar with GitHub, that's absolutely fine. The only thing that you need to know is that you can go here to releases, and then right now we are at version 1.0, which I released 20 minutes before I recorded this video. And but if you're watching this from the future, maybe there's more updated versions that have more features or are more resilient or are updated with latest Minecraft updates. So the only thing you need to do is you need to click on the zip file. You download this to your system, so I'm downloading it to my desktop. Now you can see that I'm going to extract this to my desktop, and I'm using a third-party decompression, which means that if you extracted this using Windows, you may need to right-click on each one of the files here and unblock it, because Windows has a protection system that whenever you download DLLs or executables from the internet, it blocks them for safety reasons, okay, for security reasons. So once you have that, you just have basically the application here. You can double click on it, and this window, this console application will pop up. It's going to ask you how long, how much of an interval you want between clicks. I have a default of 60 seconds, but for this video, just to show you, I'm going to do 5 seconds here. Then what is the random variation between those clicks? I have 10 seconds by default, but for this demo, I'm going to give you 1. And then the default length of the click. So clicks actually have a length, and that is important because if you click for too long, you may actually start like mining the block that you're placing the torch in. It actually happened to me while developing this, okay? So 50 milliseconds has worked great for me, but if you have problems, maybe you want to increase or decrease this a little. And what the app will do is that it will try to find, sorry, you have to have your Minecraft game running, and it cannot be minimized. So let me do this again, 5, 1, and 50. So what the app will do is it will bring your Minecraft on focus, right? And it's up to you. You have to make sure that you are looking at a block that can have torches placed and replaced. And you have to make sure that on your right hand, you have torches selected. Because if you do food, then you're probably going to click at the food, but then you're not going to be able to place the food, and you're not going to make a change in the world, right? So you need to make sure that you are holding a torch. You see, I just poked. So you need to be able to make sure that you're looking at a block, at a solid block, and that you're having a torch so that you can place it and remove it, place it and remove it. And that's it. That's the only thing that you need to do, all right? This, as of right now, is ready for AFK. And again, I tried this overnight last night, and it worked for 2 hours, no problem. So I'm assuming it probably works well. If it doesn't, you're welcome to leave a comment in this video, or if you know how to code, maybe you want to update the project using doing a pull. Oh my god, it's been a long time. I've been recording for a long time, using a pull request. Okay. Beautiful. And with that, I think that's all I wanted to say. I hope you get a lot of fun using this and you mine a lot of stuff. If you're into coding, again, you can check how I wrote this in that link that I suggested before in this other video. And if you thought this was useful, maybe you want to consider liking this video, sharing it with your friends, saying hi on the comments, joining our Discord server where we talk about computational design and we do fun, hacky stuff like this, whatever your jam is, okay? Thank you very much, and see you on some other video. Bye-bye. Okay. All right, that was a lot. 2.5 hours. Oh boy, that was a lot. Okay, thank you. I think I'm going to go. Well, before I go, I'm going to make the Minecraft channel. What are we doing this? Is it in code, introductions, community? Probably community, right? Okay, so what are we doing for pickaxe, I guess? And yeah, a pickaxe is going to be Minecraft, and it's a text channel. It's not private. I'm going to create it. There you go. Per popular request, we now have a Minecraft channel. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. All right. I need to go. That was a lot. Thank you. And I will publish this sometime soon. And oh boy, I need a break. Thank you very much, everyone. That was a pleasure. I'm very happy about these videos. I think they're going to be super fun. Uh, Thank you very much, everyone, and see you next week. Bye bye.